I decided to talk to my God. I told my God, if you are a God of whom I read from the Bible, the God of Daniel, the God of Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego, the God who is the Father of his Son, Jesus Christ, who met with Paul on his way to Damascus, the God who rescued the people, the children of Israel from Egypt. If you are the God of the Bible, now tell me if what you are doing to our patriarchs, you left it doing. Are you still doing it, or you can do it to another person? And if you are going to do it to me, I made a vow with my God. I'm going to work for you. I want you to do something unique in my life. And I want you to prove to me that you are a God who does wonders. And then I decided to write my appeal against the wills and wishes and talks of people. I wrote my appeal. And I told my God, this appeal, I'm going not to use a lawyer. And neither am I going to use a person to write it. I'm going to use the little knowledge that I have to write the appeal, to go to the learned friends in the court. And God, let this appeal not land in the hands of men. Let it land in your heart. Mm-hmm. Be the advocate there, be the judge there, be everything there. And charge me. Do me what you want to do. If you want me to die in prison, well and good. And if you are willing to take me out of prison to go home, I'm going to thank you. And I'll keep my vow. So I wrote my appeal. Writing my appeal, I decided now, as a human being, to write the appeal, not to go to Kakamega Court, because I didn't want my appeal now to go to Kakamega Court, because it's going to land in the church, to the same church and the same court. Yeah. So I decided now to write my appeal to go to Kisumu Court, High Court. Now I'm doing what other people did. Abraham did. He was told he's going to get a son or from his own loin, but he used to Hagar, the servant, isn't it? Yes. That's what I did. I forgot I have told God what to do, and I have to abide. Now I am taking a different route. So I wrote the appeal to the Court of Appeal Kisumu. When the appeal reached the Court of Appeal Kisumu, the judge called me. It was by then during the corona. So we were not supposed to go to court physically. Yes. So we were using virtual and the Skype. So the judge called me to court inside the prison. The judge is in the court, but I'm inside the prison, but we are using the Skype formula. So the judge was a lady. She told me she was a lady. She told me, I may assist you. I have gotten your petition. But remember, my jurisdiction does not allow me to deal with the cases from another court. Your file is in Kakamega, and I'm in Kisumu. I cannot pull or fetch your file from another judge who is of equal level with me, take the file from him to come and do the case for you here. Even the government, I may even be suspended. So she told me, what I am going to help you, I'm going to give you a date, take it to the Kakamega prison, put it in your file, and give you a date of which you are going to appear in the court of Kakamega. When I heard that, I asked the lady, you could have even just, or you just leave it like that way. Don't take that file to Kakamega court. He told me, no, I have to do it that way. I'll be assisting you. Now, I decided to follow what the judge told me, but with a question in my mind. Very worried. Because the file now is going, the petition now is going to land to the judge, to the same judge and in the same court. So I started praying God. So let this file go in that court, Kakamega, but let it not land in the court one, in the hands of that judge. Because in Kakamega we have two courts, high courts. The High Court number 1 and High Court number 2. So I came back and prayed God that this file should not land in the High Court number 1. Let it land in the High Court number 2. So for a time, as time went, the petition landed in the High Court number 2, of which I had prayed God to do so. So after that, the High Court number 2 summoned me to go to court. I'm still in Kibos. I have not come with Kakamega because we are doing it through the Skype. So the judge told me, and she was a lady also. She told me, I have gotten your petition. I'm going to work on it, and soon I'll be sending some officers to you to come and interrogate you, the probation officers. I thought of probation officers. Probation officers, you know, probation officers, what they do, they go back home. They investigate from the scene, yes, from the ground. Afresh. So they are going to get information about you from home. Not your people, but the area. And remember that somebody has died in the area. It's in the grave. So you can imagine, there are no positive statements that are going to be given there.
About you?
Yeah, about you, because you have done something wrong. So the lady of High Court number 2, Kakamega, told me that he's going to send me the probation officers. So I was waiting for the probation officers to come inside the prison for me to talk to them. But in my mind, I knew the probation officers who are going to go, the probation officer who is going to go home, there's nothing good he's going to collect from there. So I was in despair. So the time came, the probation officer came. And when he introduced himself to me, and then I introduced myself to him, he told me, are you the co-accused of so and so and so? I said yes. And he asked me a question that really it troubled me. Why didn't you come with them when they were doing their petition? I did not know what to answer. You see, this is an officer from the court, which means he knows the file and he knows the matters.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
About you.
And then before I answered him, he told me, in fact, I have been at your place. And I know you are co-accused. It's me who was their probation officer at Kakamega. I went at their place, I collected the information, I gave them, and it was done. Why didn't you join them? I said, God, now you have brought a person who cannot help me. If this guy, because when he's talking like that, you are thinking of 40 years of those fellas. Because they are your co-accused persons. Yes. So I told him, no. You see, with the petition, each and every person petitions the court differently. So I have different issues, they had different issues. So I have come with my issues. If you listen to their issues, well and good. You have to listen to my issue, to my issues. He said, well and good. And then he took the pen, I said everything, he interrogated me, he cross-examined me, I told him everything. And then he told me to give him a contact of which he's going to talk to the contact, and then as they direct him home, I gave him the contact of my sister, who was close to me, who was helping me, even bringing soap, tissues, and some essential things in the prison. Her name is Yukabet. So I gave the probation officer her number. And then he went. I remained in prison, now thinking, things are not good. So by that time, I decided now to pray to God I fasted the second time. The second time, I told God, do you remember what I asked you to do for me? Please do it, because I'm not seeing things going right. I'm seeing danger ahead of me.
Yes.
Then, after that, I was called before court, virtual. Then the judge told me, I have got your information from the probation officer. And remember, you cannot call home from prison. So I was of the thought that I may call home. If they come there, they do this and this. But I had not that chance.
So you wanted to make them aware of
what is going on. But it did not happen. So after a short time, my sister came and visited me and told me, you see, you sent us somebody and you did not tell us earlier. We were just ambushed. So I told her, what you said is well and good. Each and everything I left to my God to work it out. What you said, that is what God planned you to say. If it's matching with what I said, it's okay. It's okay. So let's just expect anything.
Yes.
So the judge told me he has gotten my information from the probation officer at home. So he gave me the day that she's going to write. She told me she's going to write the judgment, isn't it?
Yes.
So I wait. So he gave me around 3 months to wait for the judgment. Now, in these 3 months, before the first month elapsed, we got the report from Kakamega that judge is no longer in court. He has gone to maternity leave. And what about our files? He has taken all the files that she had to the charge of court number 1, High Court. Now the file has already gone. The hands that I did not want. I kept on praying, telling God,
do something.
Do something. So, you see, the maternity leave, it takes around 6 months, 7 months, isn't it? So for that long, she had not worked on my file. So she had given the file to the charge number 1 High Court. So the number 1 High Court judge was the one who was working on my file. And he's the one who worked it on my co-accused. He's the one who sentenced my co-accused 40 years. Put that in brackets. So, after some time, there was nothing from court. There was no connection communication between me and the court. Everything was silent. That is 2020, 2021, 2022. Even my fellow prisoners at Kibos were laughing at me. You did not want to go to appeal. You don't know your fellow co-accused are now counting days, and you are here now serving life sentence. You are now well. You feel well when you are in prison. You don't want to appeal. Not knowing what I had done and what I'm going through. So, in 2022, we decided, we were called, those people who had issues in courts, we were called in the documentation office to go and write a memorandum, so that they may get it to the respective courts. If you are in the Busia court, Kakamega court, whichever court. So I was the one who was supposed to write the memorandum. So I collect the information from the prisoners, their numbers, their files, I write the memorandum. Then they type, they get it to the court. So when the memorandum went to the court, Kakamega, it came with the results. So the officer who took the memorandum to court had marked each and every name, what is happening to his file in court. So in 2022, the officer with the memorandum came and said, you see, on the memorandum they have written on my name that this file has already been done. The judgment has already been done. But it has been done. Where are the verdicts, the results? Because I have not gotten the results. If the judgment has been done in court, what are the results? The results are nowhere to be seen. So I don't know if it's negative or positive, but I'm not expecting positive to me. Because in the petition, I had requested the court to return to me the initial sentence of 20 years, and then I begged them to cut the years that I was in remand. The 3 years I was in remand. They reduced from the 20, so it brings to 70. That is what I had requested in court. So I was expecting either that request to be positive that way, or the other way. The way they may deem it right for them. So in this request, before I wrote my petition, I went to the Department of Chaplaincy. I told them they write me a letter, recommendation letter. I went to the officer in charge of the prison. I told her to write me a recommendation letter. The officer in charge wrote me a recommendation letter. After that, he typed, he took it with the information. So I had 2 recommendation letters from the prison officer in charge, not just prison officer in charge of the prison, recommending me, and the chaplain's office recommending me.
So you wanted to use the letters maybe to convince...
Yes, the charge. Okay. And the school where I was working, yes, to write the recommendation letter. And then from there, I had learned a lot of things there in theological studies. I had a lot of diplomas. I have a lot of diplomas in theological studies for your information, around 4 or 5. That's a lot of diplomas from different institutions, international and local. Now, even the voice of prophecy, I did it in prison. So I have the certificates of voice of prophecy. I have the certificates of, I don't know, from Nakuru, Lamp and Light. I don't know if you know those colleges. I have a certificate from Association of Faith Churches and Ministers from America, another one from South Africa, another one, several, local and international. So I was good in that area. And that made me the prison to give me, to be in charge of all charges that were in prison. I was in charge of all denominations that were in prison, whether Muslims, whether Protestants, whether Catholics, whether SDS, all religions were under me. So it was favor. So the prison had not known me positively. So I was trying to help them rehabilitate other prisoners. So when time came, things were now in darkness. I did not know what is happening in court. Now the court is saying my file has already been done, but I have not gotten the results. So everything went dark like that in 2022, the whole year. In 2023, 2023 March, on 9th, I remember it was on Thursday. It was on Thursday. I was in the library, and by then I had been promoted in prison. I was now on special stage. I was a trustee. Now I'm on a special stage. I'm a prisoner, but not a common prisoner. I'm a prisoner who is in between. I'm half an officer and half a prisoner. That's a privilege. They call it the special stage. And for you to reach that special stage, you have to climb a lot of obstacles. So it's a very high privilege in prison. So I was in office. Other prisoners have been locked in, but I'm in office still doing ups and downs. The trustees or the special stage prisoners, they remain outside for a few hours until the night shift come. is when they are going to be locked in. So I was outside in the library when another prisoner came. And when he came, he knocked on the door. I welcomed him in. That prisoner was working in the office of the officer in charge. He's the cleaner in the offices of the officer in charge there. So he came, he told me, you are being called in the office. I asked him, what for? Now the officer in charge is calling you in the documentation office. So I locked the library. I went to the documentation office. I got the office, the senior officers are in office. So when they saw me, they welcomed me in. I went in. They told me, they asked me, the senior officer there asked me, the deputy officer in charge, asked me, when were you arrested? Can you remember the day you were arrested? I told him, yes, I can remember the day I was arrested, even the date and the time. They laughed at me. I told them I was arrested on 15th February 2009 at 6 o'clock. At 6
remember
o'clock.
even the
I
time.
remember even
Exact
the time, even the weather. So I gave him the day and the date. He told me no. So how is your case faring on? And when I look in the office, there is the senior documentation officer. They are all officers from all departments are in that office.
So
I suspected there is something wrong. Maybe they want to take me for a transfer, but what have I done? Because a transfer cannot be imposed on you if you have not done something wrong.
Yeah.
So I wondered, what is wrong? I told the officer in charge, and it's good you have asked that question when the officer in charge of the documentation office is here. I wrote a memorandum recently. He took it to the prison, to the court in Kakamega. He can tell you what transpired on my case. So the officer told the officer in charge that they told him my judgment has been done, has been delivered, and there are no results I have received. So he told me now, if I want, do you have the charge sheet? I told him I have the charge sheet, even not only the charge sheet, I have the full file of my case. He told me, go and bring me the charge sheet. I went out in the library, I took the file. When I wanted to remove the charge sheet, something told me, maybe you can take the charge sheet alone, and then when you are there, they ask you for another document from this file. So what you do, you just get the whole file to the office, so that it may be easier for me to remove what they want. So I took the whole file. When I reached in the office, they told me, no, we just want the charge sheet. So, you know, the charge sheet is written in the police station, and the date, the beginning of your matters are written there. The date you arrived in the police station, when you began, the date you were arrested, and everything. So they looked at it and they told me now, wait from the waiting bay. I went to the waiting bay and waited. After that, they called me in. When they called me in, they started laughing. He told me now, Micah, how are we going to help you? Because you've been a good person in this prison, and we wanted you, even if they can assist you, to lessen your sentence so that you may go home. How is home? So I started telling them how home is, what it is, such like things. So after that now, they broke the what? They broke the pot. The officer in charge told me, as we are talking with you, we were doing some calculations here. Your petition was accepted, and your sentence was reduced, and we have done the calculation. We've gotten that you are free to go home. Have you ever been confused? I was confused totally, because those words did not ring properly in my ears, because they were not expected. I told them, what do you say?
Home?
We are telling you, you are no longer a prisoner. You are a free man, you can go home. But we beg you, because it's late, you cannot go right now. You have to go back to the office you have to hand over. Because you are the head of the department, you have to wait for the officer, because the officers have already gone. So you have to wait, you go arrange the books, arrange everything so that you may hand over in the morning, and then you come, you go home. From that office, I did not even know what to do and what not to do. I was confused. So coming to the office, they told me, even if you want to sleep in that library, you are just free. Nobody is going to lock you in. I came to the library. In the library, I was just moving up and down. You see, I'm thinking home. I did nothing in that library, really, usually on that day. So, and remember, all prisoners are in prison. Nobody knows what is happening to me outside here, except the trustees that I have with them. I am with them outside. So I told one of them, my trustee, by the name Obed, I told him, you know what? Because he came and saw the way I was. He asked me, what is the problem? You are not eating. I told him, I'm not eating. Why? I told him, this is the end of eating food in prison. I'm no longer going to eat anything from here. Why? I'm going home. He was shocked, even himself. He was shocked. So, and he was shocked because he was arrested in 2007. The guy whom I was talking with, my fellow trustee, he was arrested in 2004. Yes. So you can remember, you can calculate from 2004 to 2020, 23. How long is it? It's around 20 years. Around 20 years in prison. So we were junior to him. Now he's hearing something strange from my lips that I'm going home. How? Because they had not even known if I wrote the petition or not. My things were concealed, were private. In fact, my petition, I did not write it. I did not type it in the prison. Is this chaplain's officer who took it outside. It was typed outside. Then he took it to the court. It was rubber stamped. He brought it to me. I put everything. So everything was concealed, was private. Everybody was shocked in the prison. So I went to sleep in the block in the morning. I came. Before I came out of the office on that material day, they gave me, for the first time, I touched the smartphone. It was on the 10th day of March 2023. The first day I touched the smartphone. So the officer in charge told me, take this phone, call your people and tell them to come and collect you tomorrow. You see, he's giving me a phone black like this. So where am I going to begin? No. And when I was arrested, these things were not existing.
Yeah, true.
They were not there. So he's giving me something that is, I don't know. So I told him, but I don't know. What is this?
What is this?
So call them, this is a phone. I told him, I don't know. You just dial the number. He dialed the number. For my first time, in fact, you see, you are touching like this a phone, and then I'm pressing a button that the phone is switching off. Oh. And he called the second time. He told me, you touch like this. You touch like this. This is a smartphone. So it was some comedy in that office. In that office. So in the morning, other prisoners are still locked in. I was taken as early as possible because the officers in charge of the departments I was assisting them, they had come. Now I have to hand over. In every department I have to hand over. The department of the school, the department of the chaplaincy, the department of Catholic, the department of Muslims, the department of all those departments.
And did you have time to put the files in order?
I'm always orderly.
Okay.
I'm ever orderly. Yes. Even if you go in my room at home right now, it's in order.
So as the officer were telling you to go and...
Yes, everything is okay. In fact, I did not even hand over in the badge in another way. Is everything okay? because we work with the officers, he knows how I work. So everything is okay. It's okay. Everything is okay. The books are okay. The school is okay. The files are okay. Everything is okay. So I went to the documentation office. They cleared me. Coming from the documentation office, I got the members of the church. And in prison, you have to remember, I forgot to tell you, in prison, when we had a church, I told you we had a church of more than 200 members. And I was the elder. That is the Seventh-day Adventist church. But with time, I had intoxicated this church with a new doctrine, the way they called it, of knowing that there is only one true God who has a son by the name Jesus Christ. The only two beings who are worth to be worshipped. The Spirit, the Holy Spirit is the Spirit of God. And the Spirit of God, God gives it without measure to his Son, Jesus Christ. And that is the Spirit that we as Christians, when we get born again, we are given the same Spirit. And that Spirit is what makes us to be like Christ. It's not a different person. That was not the wrong doctrine, the way they called it. So, coming out of prison, it had some advantages and disadvantages to the officers, the chaplain's office, because they got relieved, because the doctrine is not going to spread, isn't it? Not knowing that all these people,
the whole congregation,
they have known the doctrine and they study it hard. Each and every Sabbath in the afternoon, Bible study in the library, we study it thoroughly, with the teachers or without teachers. We are there. Video, audio, pamphlets, and discussion. The Bible as our guide, and the books of voice of prophecy. The spirit of prophecy, I mean. So, that is what happened. So, coming out of prison, I came alone, but I left my 3 co-accused in prison. They are still in prison serving 40 years now. It's not that a miracle.
Until now,
they are still in prison. I'm out. And how I came out, I don't know. Because what I did, other people have done it and they are still in prison. But there is only one thing: hoping in God and believing in God. And the God I believed took me out of prison. And I remember the one thing, the advantage, and I even thank God for allowing me to go in prison. Because if I could not have gone to prison, the message of one true God could not have gotten by me. And I'm sure by the time we are speaking now, maybe I would be in the grave.
Why?
I had told you, when I came out of the hands of my parents, I was no longer a Christian man. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was doing all those filthy things.
Okay, so the prison also served as a
rehabilitation center.
So it really helped you?
It really helped
spiritually, physically, mentally,
and everything. Yeah. I'm here today proclaiming this message because I was in prison.
Tell us something.
And I'm meeting you. Yeah. I have met you people because I was in prison. Without prison, I could not have met you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us something about Okwiri.
Okwiri Hezron.
Where is he?
Okwiri Hezron, after being, I told you he's an officer, isn't it?
Until?
Was working in Kibos prison as a chaplain's officer. And after this, intoxicating us, let me use that term, after intoxicating us with this message of one true God, it brought a lot of commotion in the church at Kibos. The main church at Kibos. That is the church outside, not the prisoner's church. The church of which he was serving. Kibos prison, Seventh-day Adventist church. So, when the matter came to the office of the prison chaplain's office, he was transferred to another prison, Kodiaka prison. There, The same message of which he had taught us in Kibos went to Kodiak. I remember one time there is a baptism class that was in Kodiak being contacted by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. But because of the doctrine of one true God, in the day of baptism, when they were taking vows, when the prisoners were taking vows, ready to be baptized, they rejected some of the vows, especially the vow that tells that there is a God the Son, God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. They rejected, and everything was at hold in Kodiaka prison. You see, the congregation has come, the choir from outside, everything. The prison is now witnessing the baptismal class being baptized, being taken, being performed in prison. But now everything has come to the standstill because some members of the baptismal class are rejecting the vows, some of the vows. So the pastor who had known Hezron Okwiri as a good person and a good teacher came to understand that Hezron Okwiri is not of the same faith with the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Concerning the Trinity
Concerning the Trinity doctrine. So it made them now and again transfer him from Kodiaka prison again to Migori prison. So Hezron Okwiri is our mentor. He's the one who brought us the message of the one true God in prison.
I think you need to look for this man.
We are going to go to Migori with you, at Migori with you.
So our time is up. Maybe you can just summarize how, after being released from prison, how did your family receive you?
After being released in prison, I told you I was taken home by the members of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Kisumu Central Church. It was a big convoy. And I went home as an officer, a government officer, a governor, so to say, because the convoy of the vehicles that went into my father's home, they have never been before there. Even I don't think if there is a convoy like that is going to end, maybe on a burial day. But on a casual day, I haven't seen such like this. You see, they ferried me home as a church, a Seventh-day Adventist church. So they took me home, we celebrated, and you see, when something of that sort, whether you did it or not, and somebody has died, and they have mentioned your name in the process of the death of that person, you know you cannot be at home.
True.
You cannot be at home. So it was not easy for me to catch up with life at home. This sister of mine, of whom I told you, was really a helping hand while I was in prison, is the one who took me at her place. And she's the one who is now still with me. And he has assisted me. Now I have gotten a plot somewhere. I'm yet to build my house. So I'm still green, I still need assistance. So she's really supportive. She's really supporting me up and down. She's with me. Even coming this side is she. Because you know, you cannot be living depending on someone, and then you make a lot of trips that you want some cash, and then you are depending on him on food and everything. She's facilitating you, and then you are making your fun and movement. Nobody can accept that. But I pray for her. And I pray God to help her so much to keep her alive. And she's of the faith of the one true God. I thank God because she accepted the message.
Okay, thank you for sharing with us your story. Maybe as we conclude, you can face that camera. Maybe there's a family watching or watching from home, and maybe they have a family member who they are in prison and they were falsely accused. What message do you have to them?
To make the matter short, in prison, around 50% of the prisoners are innocent. There are a lot of people in prison who are in prison because of innocency and because they are laymen. They don't know how to defend themselves before the court of law. And I may tell the parents and maybe the guardians and the relatives of the people who are in prison. With prisoners, they really pray for you. There is no time you can go in prison and find worshiping service is not being done. Even if you get to prison right now, you will get a worshiping service somewhere. Prisoners are praying for their people, they are praying for the government, they are praying for each and other. So the guardians and the relatives of the prisoners, you have to be praying for them, giving them hope, maybe supplying some of the essential things that they need, and giving them some guidance, mental guidance, and counseling. So prison is not a life, a death sentence. Somebody may be in prison and you may come out miraculously the way it happened to me. I'm a living testimony. I was in prison. I have been sentenced to all types of sentences: death sentence, 20 years sentence, life sentence. At last, I'm a free man out of prison. This can not only happen to me, it can happen to each and everyone. So long as you trust in God and believe in Him, pray to Him faithfully, He is going to work miracles in your life. So I really say that prisoners are good people. There are a lot of people outside there who are better than us that we are out. You are just a potential prisoner when you are walking outside here. You can be in prison any time as from now. You know, most of people say that a prison is like a hospital. No, the two cannot match, because you cannot go to the hospital to see the doctor if you are not sick. You go to the hospital to be treated, isn't it? But in prison, you can go in prison without doing a crime. So those are two different places. A prison is not like a hospital. So those people who are in prison are just people like you. They are people too. They need love, they need hope, they need to be served, they need to be treated as other people. So take care of them. They might be beneficial in my life one time or the other. So
You had made a covenant with God.
yeah, my covenant with God, I'm going to fulfill it, and I have already started, because I hail from Kakamega, and the message of the one true God, when it reached me, I came with it out of prison. I'm spreading it outside, in churches and outside churches. If you go to the churches around me where I come from, they know me as a one true God believer, and they know the message. I have distributed some books to them. I have distributed some material to them, of which I got from the heads and leaders of this church. And maybe for the point of correction, for you to understand who are outside, maybe you don't know me. I am an SDCR member. That is the Seventh-day Church of Revelation. Right now, I'm talking from Kokwet, Chemuswa, in Nandi County. Nandi County. Thank you so much for listening to me. Unless otherwise you have
Okay,
another
thank you
issue.
for sharing with us your testimony.
Thank you.
We have come to the end of today's testimony. Indeed, it was a very touching story from our very own Micah. Goodbye until next time.